On July 18, 2018, one of the most stunning trades in NBA history took place. The San Antonio Spurs traded away their two-time Defensive Player of the Year winner, their MVP candidate, and their Finals MVP winner, to a team not normally known for being a contender, the Toronto Raptors. The exchange was Kawhi Leonard for DeMar DeRozan. And let me make this clear, the Spurs deciding to trade Kawhi away wasn't the shocking part, because it was widely known that he was very unhappy with the coaching staff, his teammates, and basically the entire organization. In that sense, the departure was kind of expected. The shocking part is that he was getting dealt to the Toronto Raptors, who believed that he was the missing piece they needed in order to win a championship. To say that this was a massive gamble on their part would be a monumental understatement. In exchange, they were giving up DeMar DeRozan, who had spent 9 years with the team and who was and is still the franchise's all-time leading scorer. At the time, DeRozan was only 28 years old and still had plenty of time left on his contract. He had just led his Raptors to at least the second round of the playoffs for 3 consecutive seasons, and in each and every one of those instances, they were eliminated by LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. At the time the Raptors were trading away DeRozan, they had already known that LeBron James was moving out to the Western Conference, meaning they simply could have brought back the same roster, knowing that their opportunity to make it to the NBA Finals was finally presenting itself. But apparently that perspective wasn't strong enough in the eyes of their general management. For trading away their committed superstar in the prime of his career, they were getting in return a disgruntled, injury-prone superstar who had made it very clear that his preferred destination was his hometown roots in the warm weather of Southern California. And instead, the Raptors were bringing him to the cold and frigid country of Canada. On top of that, Kawhi Leonard had an expiring contract, so it was widely presumed that he was a short-term, one-season rental for the Raptors, before he would eventually depart from the team, leaving them empty-handed. There was the thought that maybe, if they won the NBA championship, they could convince him to stay. But even then, they'd have to win the championship first in order to make that a possibility. And given Kawhi's injury history, there was no safe assumption that he'd even make it through the year before his free agency hits. I can only imagine what the initial meeting was like for Masai Ujiri and the rest of the Raptors front office.
You need to just think about what you're doing because you're upset.
Okay.
This is the kind of decision that gets you fired.
I'm not being hyperbolic when I say that this had to be one of the top 5 ballsiest moves by a general manager in NBA history. If Kawhi and the Raptors go on to win the championship, then Ujiri instantly becomes a hero to that fan base. But if the Raptors lost and Kawhi leaves in the offseason, then he's almost certainly fired that same summer. I was in the early days of my YouTube channel when this trade initially went down, and although this is tough to admit now, I immediately picked up my microphone and started recording a video where I was extremely critical of the Raptors management for making this decision. To me and many others, the risk far outweighed the slim odds of success. Well, then the game started, and with Kawhi leading the way, the Raptors did go on to secure the best record in the Eastern Conference, securing home court advantage to start the playoffs. But in the second round of the postseason, the course of NBA history met at a fork in the road. Joel Embiid, Jimmy Butler, and the Philadelphia 76ers were tied at 3 games apiece with Kawhi Leonard and the Toronto Raptors, and the pivotal 7th game came down to its final seconds. After a clutch basket from Jimmy Buckets to tie things up, the ball was now in the hands of the Raptors' greatest gamble, Kawhi Leonard. And over the outstretched arm of the 76ers superstar, he hit one of the most significant and iconic game-winning jumpers in league history.
By Simmons, is this the dagger?
Because this shot somehow miraculously went in, it enabled the Raptors to make it all the way to the NBA Finals, where they took advantage of an injury-laden Warriors team and won their first and only championship in franchise history. Kawhi won another Finals MVP, and thanks to his terrific play throughout the postseason, he was consistently receiving comparisons to the man widely recognized as the greatest of all time, Michael Jordan. But let's take a moment to consider how lucky and fortunate this Raptors team was. If just one of those many bounces on the rim were slightly different, then the Toronto Raptors may lose this series in overtime, and thus Masai Ujiri almost certainly loses his job, as this failed gamble becomes a long-lasting example of why organizations are hesitant to make these kind of risks. Now Kawhi suddenly is without any type of success outside of San Antonio, which not only significantly diminishes his legacy, but it establishes a narrative that he created his own downfall by forcing his way out of a stable and winning culture. If the Raptors don't win the title in 2019, then a different team does in their place. Maybe it's the Philadelphia 76ers, and Joel Embiid establishes himself as one of the greatest big men of all time. Maybe it's the team the Raptors defeated in the Eastern Conference Finals, the Milwaukee Bucks, as Giannis leads his team to their first of 2 championships in 3 seasons, which launches him into another stratosphere of the greatest players of all time. Or maybe it would have been the Golden State Warriors, who won the title over the 76ers or Bucks in the NBA Finals regardless of their injuries. If that had happened, then I can only imagine how that would have boosted the legacy of the already legendary Steph Curry. In this alternate reality, Steph Curry has a total of 5 championships, where he completed a three-peat as the leader of an injury-laden roster. With this being added to his already rich resume, there is no doubt in my mind that many people would be including him today in the GOAT conversation. And again, all of this is because one basketball just happened to bounce in a very specific fashion. Usually it's other sports, like baseball or football, that are referred to as a game of inches. But in the 2019 NBA season, it was absolutely and unequivocally a game of inches. That's for sure. So what do you guys think? If Kawhi Leonard missed that shot in 2019 and they lose in overtime, who goes on to win the championship instead? I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comment section below. Shout out to the members for supporting the channel, and thanks for watching as always. Make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.